Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of Seeing Beyond and Through with Monty. Right before you, it says here, white girls can't get enough of black men. Now, I came across this post on the site of a black male, and this is not the only one. This is also a post on the site of a black male. White girls love black boys. And here's the whole length of it, the full picture of it. And this was also on the site of a black man. Now, right here, you see the white female to the left, her white boyfriend besides her, and she's holding hands with the black male, as if to signal that she really desires this black male over her white boyfriend. And this post right here was also on the site of a black male. It seems to me that these very insecure black men are having their Sally Field moment.
More than anything, to have your respect. The first time I didn't feel it, but this time I feel it, and I can't deny the fact that you like me. Right now, you like me.
Okay, you've seen that. It just seems like there is this whole need to want and to believe that somehow these white women are preferring black men among any other men. That somehow these white women are preferring black men even above and beyond their own white men. You have to think that this is some deep level of insecurity and another level where they're pedestalizing white women. It's almost like somehow the belief that white women wants them and likes them in high numbers somehow validates them. And it's really a shame that these black men who believe this are brainwashing themselves to that extent. Now, I came across this page right here. Once again, it's ran by a black male, and he happens to have, not surprisingly, a white girlfriend. It goes, why white girls like black men better. And, it's ran by him, and he's interviewing this white female who he's involved with. So just take a listen, a little clip here.
You said you give more energy to a guy of color than a guy not of color.
Yeah, I notice them more, and I'm more prone to speaking back to them or responding to them rather than the white men.
What do you mean you notice them more? Like, you don't notice the white guy standing right there, but you notice the black guy?
No, if it's like an average-looking white guy, making a pass or paying attention to me, I see through them. I don't even look at them.
And what about an average-looking black guy?
I'll probably notice them more than a white guy, yeah.
So why? Why is this?
They're black.
There you have it.
Okay, so you heard that. To me, that's just absurd. It's just really preposterous that you would want to even ask, even seek out, to even have the need for another race of people to want you, to like you, and to desire you. You really have to wonder, how did your mind get to such a place? And not only that, people, they posted, they logged in. Let me read this to you. Sigh. First, I'm a black biracial woman. Nothing about black men is foreign to me, unlike our friend here. I don't date out, and I damn sure do not beg to be validated. I don't beg to be validated me as a desirable black woman. Chad could fucking never. Okay, she had strong words. And I understand and agree with what she's saying. She's stating that she does not need a white male to validate her. Unlike these black men and that black man there, who they really don't understand what they're doing. If you ask them, they would tell you, love is love. that you cannot help who you fall in love with, and all that other bullcrap. And it is bullcrap because none of these men right there who make that statement will fall in love with a female who's like 78 years old. They will not fall in love with a female who's like 300 pounds. If these men are serious about you can't help who you fall in love with, if that's the case right there, can they possibly fall in love with another man? So you do have control over your feelings, emotions, and desires. I just think that a lot of people do not want to take accountability. They want to have an excuse. And by saying that you cannot help who you fall in love with or help who you are attracted to is not really taking responsibility. And it's not looking at the deeper issue or picture as to how did they come to this mindset. Okay, I think this is a yearly conversation. You seem really insecure about your place in society as well as in that relationship. So here's a poster who is complaining about this black male's post. So apparently he posts a lot about this. And I agree. Anyone who's asking another race, how much do you like them or do you prefer them, or like these other posts in which I showed you earlier, making statements that white women prefer black men, you have to be very insecure. It's almost like you need to hear that. And you need to look deep within to ask yourself, why is it that you need to hear that? Now, not true. I don't like black men. I prefer to date my own people. Take a listen to this here.
Preference, would you prefer to date a black guy or a white guy?
I think white guys, yeah. I think the culture is just more similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not into I think sometimes black guys can be a little bit more possessive. So, yeah.
How so?
I don't know. That's what I've seen. That's what my friends have told me when they have had some experiences. They have been a little bit possessive sometimes, and I'm not into that.
She's indicative of most white women. To the black men who believe this, or who want to believe this, or who have a need to believe this, I hate to burst your bubble. Most white women do prefer white men. Most white women do not prefer black men, Asian men, or Hispanic men over their own white men. That's just a fact right there. Culturally speaking, you match up better. Historically speaking, you have the same history for the most part. You match up better. There's going to be a deeper level of understanding. That's not rocket science to figure out and to understand that. So no, white women do not prefer black men. They never have, never will. And that's just the truth with that. She goes right here, not all true. So it's basically she's disagreeing with that too. And she says not all white women, like black men. And he goes at the bottom, he gets a little bit defensive. Of course, everyone is unique. Not all black men, what do you say, like white women. See, that's you get a little bit defensive right there. Well, your title says otherwise. Your title made it seem like the vast majority of white women out there are lusting, pining, preferring black men. And that's just not true. And when the truth is presented before him from the mouth of a white female, he, and like other black men, will get defensive. See, I just do not know. Well, I do know. It's insecurity. It's lack of self-worth, lack of self-validation. It's lack of connection to your own people. It's almost like you've been brainwashed by the system. And what plays a big role, I find here lately, in black men being brainwashed is this here, interracial porn. I'm going to talk about this in another video because this is a very layered and deep topic that's going to take a video by itself. I just wanted to touch on these posts that black men are posting, insinuating or stating that white women prefer them, which is just not the truth. But one of the reasons why this belief is gaining prevalence, and I don't believe that all black men believe this, I do believe that a large percentage do, not the majority, but enough to make a difference. You see, they're posting about it. But interracial porn is messing up the minds of many young black men into believing that somehow these white women want black dick, that they prefer black men over even their own men. That's irrational thinking. That's fantasy thinking. You got to get from out of that damn computer or get from in front of that computer and step into the real world, because this will have you believing in something that is not real. See, they look at these porn videos and things like that, and they see all these white women, and they bring that into their real life. And somehow they foolishly allow themselves to be tricked, to be bedazzled by these white women. And somehow they're thinking that, well, this is what all white women want. All white women want to be black. They want a black man. They want to experience a black man. And that is not true. I know that because I went to school with white women. By the way, you may see a lot of, these videos where they're interviewing white women at the mall and things like that. And people are asking them, what do you prefer, black men or white men? And they'll say black. Well, most of them are saying that because the camera is in their face and they're on camera being filmed. So they don't want to come off as being racist. So a lot of times they will say that, yes, it doesn't matter, or yes, I do prefer black men. They don't. Most of these women in these videos who do pornography do not prefer black men. They're only there because they are getting paid. They're only doing this right now because it creates a bigger social media presence. Having sex with black men on film now does not have the same social stigma that it once had. You could not get away with that. A lot of white women in the 70s or early 80s. It would have carried its weight to the point where she would have lost audiences. Because white women, back then particularly, most of their audiences would have been white men. And they would have relied on going around the strip clubs, as an outside means of income. And it would have affected them as to how they were looked at by white men. It would have affected the white men who wanted to pay to see them perform live. But with the Kardashians now and all the interracial unions in Hollywood, it does not carry the same social stigma that it once had. So it's not that these white women prefer black men. No, they are trying to climb the ladder by any means necessary. And if that means jumping on the black dick, then so be it. But these fools who are into this porn, this interracial porn, they're somehow thinking this is what all white women want. And that is not the case at all. So they see these rosters right here lined up with hundreds of white women. Then again, it goes back to what I just said. It's just a means to an end. It's not anything that they prefer. If most of them can prefer not fucking a black guy on screen, they probably would go that route. But this is something today that, hey, it's going to help you build your career. Since it's a career builder and not a career destroyer, they will go that route. So we're the only fools, black men, who want to sit right there and believe that this signals a new era. It signals that somehow the vast majority of white women are into us. They want us. They desire us. That we're highly sought after. That's not the case at all. Why would black men be highly sought after by white women when white men control like 97% of the wealth? That doesn't make any sense right there. Most women tend to be attracted to men who look like their fathers. Most women are attracted to men from their communities, from their societies. Just that simple right there. And that's not black men. America, for the most part, is still a very separated place, still integrated. Right here in America, 50% of black people live in just 10 states. 51% of black people live in the South. The vast majority of white women have never had sex with a black man. The vast majority of white women do not desire to have sex with the black man. These white women who do porn only make up 1%, even if that, of the female white population. So no, there's no great desire for black men among white women. The vast majority of them don't want us. But that's okay. I don't want them neither. You will not see me going around pining after white affection or validation. Don't need it. Never been that particular type. I'm not that damn weak. Them preferring their own does not bother me at all. I prefer my own. I prefer to be around my own, date my own, sleep with my own. I just prefer my own people. I don't think that makes me racist. I don't think that makes anyone racist. But I tell you one thing, those who do go out there preferring other races above their own, I do believe that there's some deep-seated issues there. There's some things in which they need to work on. This is not all about love is love. I do believe that interracial unions in the 70s, early 80s, I do believe that more so was about love. Because you did not have this whole influence or, of porn like you have today. You did not have this whole celebrity influence that our people pay so much attention to and want to emulate. So most of this junk today right here is nothing but self-hate. And if you look at it right here, white girls this, white girls that, white girls want black guys, white women, blah, 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 blah. Everything is white. You don't hear anything about a personality trait, about she's a loving, kind, generous person, very affectionate. She does community work. She's very kind to animals. She's a great conversationalist. She's great with kids. She's great with old people. She's great with volunteering work. You don't hear any of that. The first thing that comes to someone's mind in today's age is if she's white, it seems, particularly with these men right here. These men are who I'm talking about. It has to be the color is what they notice first and foremost. They don't notice any other innate traits. So that tells you right then and there, they're basing their relationships, their affections, their love on the wrong thing. And it's no reason why interracial unions, particularly between black men and white women, are the least successful. You can see why. It's based upon this outerness, this outer shell of the person. She has to be white first and foremost. That's the most important thing to these black men. And that does not make for a good relationship. It does not make for a long-lasting relationship. I do not believe that it even makes for a loving relationship. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I say this stuff right here is bullshit and hogwash. And unfortunately, with the way society is today, very superficial, we're going to see more of it. But hopefully there will be enough people who can understand what's going on and who can do some pushback, like what I'm doing with this particular video. Calling it out for what it is. Nothing but a lot of self-loathing and self-hate. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is another edition of Seeing Beyond and Through with Monty, and I will see you all beyond and through.